For thousands of years, whenever humans looked up at the night sky, one question echoed through every civilization, every culture, and every generation. Are we truly alone? It is perhaps the oldest mystery in human history. Long before telescopes existed, our ancestors stared at the stars with wonder. They imagined gods living among them, mysterious beings watching over Earth, and distant worlds hidden beyond the darkness. Today, we no longer rely on myths alone. We have powerful telescopes, advanced spacecraft, and some of the brightest scientific minds in history searching for the answer. Yet despite all our discoveries, the universe has remained strangely silent. But before we ask where everyone is, we must first understand something almost impossible for the human mind to imagine. Just how big is the universe? The Earth feels enormous to us. It has vast oceans, towering mountains, endless deserts, and billions of people living across its surface. Flying around the world takes nearly 2 days. Crossing oceans once took months. Yet compared to the universe, Earth is almost nothing. Our planet is only about 12,700 kilometers wide. It circles an ordinary star we call the Sun. The Sun itself is so large that more than 1 million Earths could fit inside it. If Earth were the size of a tiny marble, the Sun would be nearly as tall as a 2-story house. Even then, our Sun is not considered a giant. In fact, astronomers classify it as an average-sized star. Across our galaxy exist stars hundreds of times larger. Some are so enormous that if they replaced our Sun, their outer layers would stretch beyond the orbit of Mars or even Jupiter. Already, the universe is beginning to feel unimaginably large. But we have not even left our own neighborhood. Our solar system contains 8 major planets, hundreds of moons, countless asteroids, icy comets, and distant frozen worlds that sunlight barely reaches. If you could travel in a modern passenger airplane toward the Sun, your journey would take nearly 20 years. At the speed of the fastest spacecraft ever built by humanity, it would still take months. Now imagine traveling to the nearest star beyond our Sun. Not another planet, not another moon, another star. That star is called Proxima Centauri. It is about 4.24 light years away. A light year is not a measure of time. It is a measure of distance. Light is the fastest thing known in nature. Every second, it travels nearly 300,000 kilometers. In just 1 second, light could circle Earth more than 7 times. Yet even traveling at that incredible speed, it still takes over 4 years for light to reach Proxima Centauri. Our fastest spacecraft would need tens of thousands of years to make the same journey. That is the scale of space. And Proxima Centauri is only our closest neighboring star. Now imagine our entire solar system shrinking until it fits inside a single coin. On that same scale, the Milky Way galaxy would become larger than an entire continent. The Milky Way contains somewhere between 100 and 400 billion stars. Many of those stars have planets. Many of those planets may have moons. Some of those worlds may have oceans, mountains, clouds, and atmospheres. Perhaps some even have forests unlike anything on Earth. Perhaps others are covered by oceans stretching from horizon to horizon. Others may be frozen solid beneath endless layers of ice. And somewhere among those billions of worlds, there could be a planet where someone is asking the exact same question. Are we alone? For centuries, this idea belonged only to imagination. Today, it belongs to science. In the last few decades, astronomers have discovered something extraordinary. Planets are everywhere. Until the early 1990s, we knew of only the planets inside our own solar system. Many scientists wondered whether planetary systems like ours were rare. Then everything changed. Using increasingly powerful telescopes, astronomers began discovering planets orbiting distant stars. These worlds became known as exoplanets. At first, scientists found only massive gas giants because they were easier to detect. But as technology improved, smaller and more Earth-like planets began appearing. Year after year, the list grew longer. Hundreds became thousands. Thousands became more than 5,000 confirmed exoplanets. And researchers believe there are actually hundreds of billions of planets in our galaxy alone. Think about that for a moment. Hundreds of billions. Even if only 1% could support life, That would still mean billions of potentially habitable worlds. Suddenly, the question changed. Instead of asking whether planets like Earth exist, scientists began asking how many. Some of these distant worlds orbit within what astronomers call the habitable zone. This is often nicknamed the Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too cold, just the right distance from their star for liquid water to exist on the surface. Water is one of the essential ingredients for life as we know it. Where scientists find water, they become interested. Where they find oceans, curiosity grows even stronger. Because everywhere we have found liquid water on Earth, we have found life. Tiny bacteria survive beneath Antarctic ice. Microbes live inside boiling volcanic springs. Others thrive near toxic chemicals deep beneath the ocean, where sunlight never reaches. Life has proven astonishingly adaptable. Again and again, nature surprises us. This raises an extraordinary possibility. If life can survive in Earth's harshest environments, could it also survive beneath the icy surface of distant moons? Inside underground oceans? On planets orbiting other stars? Or perhaps in forms completely different from anything we have ever imagined? Scientists don't know. And that uncertainty is what makes the search so exciting. Every new telescope reveals another piece of the puzzle. Every new discovery reminds us how little we truly know. The universe is not simply larger than we once believed. It is far stranger. The more we explore, the more mysterious it becomes. Some scientists estimate there may be 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. Each galaxy may contain hundreds of billions of stars. Many of those stars almost certainly have planets. When those numbers are multiplied together, the result becomes almost impossible to comprehend. There may be more planets in the universe than there are grains of sand on every beach on Earth. If that is true, then somewhere, on one of those countless worlds, another civilization may already be looking toward the stars. Perhaps they have already discovered radio. Perhaps they have built giant space telescopes. Perhaps they have reached technologies far beyond anything humanity can imagine. Or perhaps they disappeared long before Earth even formed. The universe is over 13.8 billion years old. Human civilization has existed for only a tiny fraction of that time. Modern technology has existed for barely a century. In cosmic terms, humanity has only just opened its eyes. So if intelligent civilizations have appeared elsewhere, they may be millions or even billions of years older than us. That thought is both exciting and unsettling. Because if the universe is so unimaginably vast, if planets are so incredibly common, if the ingredients for life exist almost everywhere, then one question becomes impossible to ignore. If the universe should be full of life, why haven't we found anyone yet? That single question has puzzled scientists for decades. If the universe is filled with billions of stars, trillions of planets, and countless opportunities for life to emerge, then why does the cosmos appear so quiet? This mystery is so important that it has its own name. It is called the Fermi Paradox. The story begins in 1950 with the Italian-American physicist Enrico Fermi. During a casual lunch with colleagues, they were discussing the possibility of alien civilizations. Suddenly, Fermi asked a simple question. Where is everybody? It sounded almost too simple, but hidden inside those 3 words was one of the greatest scientific puzzles ever asked. If intelligent civilizations are common, then some of them should be millions of years older than humanity. A civilization, even 1 million years more advanced than ours, could achieve technologies we can barely imagine. To us, they might seem almost magical. Now imagine a civilization that has had not 1 million years, but 100 million years to develop, or 1 billion years. Compared with them, humanity might appear no more advanced than a colony of ants. If such civilizations exist, they should have had more than enough time to explore the galaxy. The Milky Way is incredibly large, but on cosmic timescales, crossing it may not be impossible. Even if a civilization traveled much slower than the speed of light, they could gradually spread from one star system to another. Each new colony could build more spacecraft. Those colonies could create even more. Like ripples spreading across a pond, exploration would continue until much of the galaxy had been reached. Some scientists estimate that this process could take only a few million years. That sounds unimaginably long to us. But remember, the Milky Way is more than 13 billion years old. A few million years is only a brief moment in its history. So if advanced civilizations have existed before us, why don't we see them? Why don't we detect their spacecraft? Why don't we receive clear messages? Why has no telescope found undeniable evidence? This silence is the heart of the Fermi Paradox. Scientists have proposed many possible explanations. Some are optimistic. Others are deeply unsettling. One possibility is surprisingly simple. Maybe intelligent life is incredibly rare. Creating life may be much harder than we think. On Earth, life appeared remarkably early after the planet formed. But no one knows exactly how it began. Scientists have several promising ideas, but there is still no complete answer. The leap from chemistry to biology remains one of science's greatest mysteries. Even if simple life appears, intelligent life may be even rarer. For most of Earth's history, there were no humans. There were only microscopic organisms. Life existed for billions of years before animals appeared. Dinosaurs ruled Earth for around 165 million years. Yet none built telescopes. None invented radio. None wondered about distant galaxies. Intelligence like ours may not be the inevitable outcome of evolution. It may be one extraordinary accident among countless possibilities. But there is another explanation, one that many scientists find even more disturbing. It is known as the Great Filter. The Great Filter suggests that, somewhere between the birth of a planet and the rise of an advanced civilization, lies an enormous obstacle. Almost no civilization survives it. Perhaps life almost never begins. Perhaps complex cells rarely evolve. Perhaps intelligent beings usually destroy themselves before they can explore space. Think about humanity. In just over 100 years, we have developed nuclear weapons, artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, and technologies capable of transforming our planet. We have incredible scientific knowledge, yet we still struggle with war, conflict, and environmental challenges. Our technology has advanced much faster than our wisdom. Could this happen everywhere? Could civilizations repeatedly reach a point where their own inventions become their greatest threat? No one knows. But history on Earth reminds us that survival is never guaranteed. Asteroids have struck our planet before. Supervolcanoes have erupted. Ice ages have transformed entire continents. They were completely baffled. Some people immediately claimed they were messages from alien civilizations. The headlines spread quickly across the internet. But as more observations were made, astronomers found that many fast radio bursts repeat in predictable ways and appear to originate from extreme natural objects, such as magnetars, a special type of neutron star with unimaginably strong magnetic fields. Today, most scientists believe fast radio bursts are natural events. However, some details remain unexplained and research continues. Again, the universe reminds us that nature itself can be stranger than fiction. Another object that captured the world's attention was a star officially known as KIC 846-2852, but better known as Tabby's star. In 2015, astronomers noticed something unusual. The star's brightness was changing in a way they had never seen before. Instead of dimming by 1 or 2%, as happens when a planet passes in front of a star, it sometimes dimmed by more than 20%. No known planet could explain such dramatic changes. Naturally, speculation exploded. Some people suggested an advanced alien civilization might be building a gigantic structure around the star to capture its energy. Such a hypothetical structure is known as a Dyson sphere. It is an extraordinary idea first proposed by physicist Freeman Dyson. Imagine a civilization so advanced that it surrounds its entire star with massive energy-collecting satellites. Instead of using the limited energy available on one planet, it harvests the power of an entire sun. To us, such engineering would seem almost impossible. But according to physics, it is not forbidden. It is simply far beyond humanity's current abilities. For a brief moment, many people wondered whether Tabby's star might finally be evidence of intelligent life. Scientists investigated carefully. Over time, the evidence pointed toward a more ordinary explanation involving clouds of cosmic dust and other natural material passing in front of the star. The alien hypothesis became far less likely. Once again, science followed the evidence rather than the excitement. This is how real science works. Scientists do not begin with the answer they want. They begin with questions. Every possible explanation is tested. The simplest explanation supported by evidence is usually accepted. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So far, no observation has met that standard. But the search has never stopped. Today, humanity possesses its most powerful space telescope ever built, the James Webb Space Telescope. Unlike earlier telescopes, it can analyze the atmospheres of distant exoplanets. It searches for tiny chemical fingerprints. Scientists call these biosignatures. On Earth, life changes the atmosphere. Plants release oxygen. Living organisms produce methane and many other gases. If astronomers detect similar combinations on another planet, it could suggest that something alive is changing that world's atmosphere. Not proof, but a powerful clue. Researchers are also searching for technosignatures. These are signs not of life in general, but of intelligent civilizations. For example, unusually bright artificial lights on the night side of a distant planet, powerful laser beams, industrial pollution unlike anything produced by nature, or gigantic engineering projects orbiting distant stars. None has been confirmed. Yet every year, our instruments become more sensitive. Every year, we search farther than ever before. Perhaps the first undeniable clue is already traveling toward Earth at the speed of light. Perhaps it left its home world thousands of years ago. Perhaps, at this very moment, it is silently crossing the darkness between the stars. And somewhere in the near future, one telescope, one observation, one tiny signal could completely rewrite the story of humanity. Imagine this. It is an ordinary morning. People are going to work. Students are sitting in classrooms. Families are eating breakfast. Around the world, millions of people are living their normal lives, completely unaware that history is about to change forever. Deep inside a giant observatory, a radio telescope detects an unusual signal from a distant star. At first, scientists assume it is just another error. Equipment can fail. Satellites can interfere. Natural cosmic events can produce strange signals. So they remain cautious. Another observatory, on the other side of the world, points its telescope toward the same location. The signal is still there. Hours later, a third observatory confirms exactly the same result. Now the excitement begins to grow. Scientists analyze every detail. The signal is unlike any natural phenomenon ever recorded. It contains a clear mathematical pattern. Prime numbers, a sequence that appears deliberately arranged. Nature does not normally organize itself this way. The possibility becomes impossible to ignore. Humanity may have just received its first confirmed message from another intelligent civilization. Before announcing anything to the world, scientists spend weeks checking every possibility. Could it be a hidden satellite? No. Could it be military technology? No. Could it be equipment malfunction? Again, no. Every test points to the same conclusion. The signal originated from a distant planetary system many light years away. Finally, an international press conference is called. Scientists stand before cameras with extraordinary caution. They do not claim to know who sent the signal. They do not claim the civilization is friendly. They simply present the evidence. For the first time in history, humanity would know that intelligent life exists beyond Earth. Within minutes, the news would spread across every country. Television stations would interrupt their regular programs. Social media would explode. Governments would hold emergency meetings. Scientists would work around the clock. Religious leaders would offer guidance to billions of followers. Parents would try to explain the discovery to their children. People everywhere would look up at the night sky with completely different eyes. The stars would no longer seem empty. But one enormous question would remain. Should we answer? This question is already being debated today. Some scientists believe we should send a message immediately. They argue that any civilization capable of contacting us would almost certainly already know Earth exists. Our radio and television broadcasts have been leaking into space for more than 100 years. Our atmosphere also carries chemical signs of life, including oxygen, from nearby stars. Earth already looks like a living planet. Others disagree. They believe we should remain silent. History on Earth shows that when one civilization encounters another, with much more advanced technology, the outcome is often disastrous for the less advanced society. No one knows whether alien civilizations would be peaceful, curious, indifferent, or dangerous. The truth is that we simply do not have enough information. Fortunately, distance may protect us. Even if the signal came from a star 50 light-years away, any reply would take another 50 years to arrive. A simple conversation could take an entire human lifetime. If the civilization were 1,000 light-years away, a single exchange of greetings would require 2,000 years. The universe moves at the speed of light, and nothing can travel faster. This is one of the greatest barriers separating civilizations across the cosmos. Perhaps countless intelligent species already exist. Perhaps they are all simply too far apart to meet. In that case, the universe would not be lonely. It would just be unimaginably vast. Yet humanity continues searching. New telescopes are being built. More powerful observatories are planned. Future missions will study the atmospheres of hundreds of Earth-like planets. Scientists hope to detect oxygen, methane, water vapor, and other chemical fingerprints that could suggest biological activity. One discovery could change everything. Even finding simple microbial life on another world would be one of the greatest scientific breakthroughs in history. It would mean that life is not unique to Earth. And if simple life exists in many places, intelligent life may eventually appear elsewhere as well. Perhaps not everywhere, but somewhere. As our understanding grows, one fact becomes increasingly clear. The universe does not owe us easy answers. Every discovery reveals even deeper mysteries. The more we learn, the more we realize how much remains unknown. Today, the most honest answer science can give is surprisingly simple. We do not know whether we are alone. There is no confirmed evidence that intelligent, extraterrestrial civilizations exist. There is also no evidence proving they do not exist. The universe is simply too large, too old, and too unexplored for either conclusion. What we do know is extraordinary. There are hundreds of billions of stars in our galaxy. There are likely hundreds of billions of planets within it. Beyond the Milky Way lie perhaps trillions of other galaxies. The numbers are so immense that they challenge human imagination. Somewhere among those countless worlds, another civilization may already be asking the same question we are asking tonight. They may have looked toward their own sky. They may have built telescopes. They may have searched the silence, hoping to hear another voice. Perhaps, at this very moment, they are wondering if they are alone. And perhaps, without either of us knowing it, two civilizations are staring into the same vast ocean of stars, separated not by hatred or fear, but by distance and time. One day, that silence may finally be broken. Until then, humanity will continue looking upward, because every great discovery in history began with someone willing to ask a question that had no answer. And among all the questions we have ever asked, none is greater than this. Are we truly alone in the universe? For now, the stars remain silent. But silence is not the same as emptiness. If you enjoyed this journey into one of the greatest mysteries of the universe, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us explore more incredible stories hidden among the stars and the universe. Thank you.